My dearest listeners, oh my goodness, I have something so shocking to share with you today. Right here, right now, in this very moment, you are about to experience the biggest revelation about your dear soul. A message that will stir your heart, move your spirit, and bring you closer to understanding a profound truth about love, healing, and faith. Last night, something unexpected happened to the one you love. They stood on the edge of an emotional breakdown, overwhelmed by the weight of everything they've been carrying deep within. The burdens, the struggles, the unspoken pain. They couldn't bear it any longer. In that moment of raw vulnerability, a powerful decision was made, one that they could no longer ignore. They knew that they had to open up, to reveal the truth they had been hiding for so long. But instead of speaking to you in person, they recorded a video that would carry the truth from their heart to yours. In that video, they pour out their deepest emotions, their struggles, their pain, and the truth they've been keeping locked inside for far too long. They couldn't pretend anymore. They couldn't continue to wear the mask of strength and composure. They had to tell you. You see, this moment is not just about honesty. It's about divine intervention. This is a moment for you both to experience healing, renewal, and restoration. God works in mysterious ways, often calling us to face difficult truths so that we may grow, so that we may heal, and so that we may experience the fullness of His love as He intended for us. I know you love them, and hearing this truth might be difficult. It may even bring tears to your eyes. But I urge you to listen with an open heart. God's love often leads us through the hardest paths so that we can become whole again. This video, this raw confession, isn't something you should ignore or brush aside. It holds the truest and most unfiltered thoughts, the realest feelings that have been buried beneath layers of pain and pride. Watch it carefully, and watch it all the way to the very end. For by doing so, you will finally understand where they truly stand emotionally, what they've been silently battling, and how they long for healing. This is a hard truth, yes, but it's one that you both need to face together in love, in faith, and with God's grace. This is not just a plea for understanding. This is an invitation for both of you to walk through the fire of your souls together and come out on the other side stronger, more united, and more rooted in His love. Your person says, "My love, I need to be honest with you. You deserve the truth, the full truth about what's really going on inside me. For too long I've been pretending. I've been pretending to be strong, pretending to have it all together, but I can't wear this mask any longer. You are the one I love, the one God has brought into my life. And you deserve to see the real me, brokenness and all. The truth is, I'm not the person I appear to be on the outside. I've tried to act composed, to make it seem like I'm handling everything with ease, but the reality is far different. Inside, my heart is hurting. It's shattered, and I don't know how to mend it. I've been carrying this weight alone, trying to shoulder it in silence, but I can't do it anymore. I've tried to heal on my own, to fix myself with my own strength, but I've come to realize that I can't. And here's the most painful part. There are pieces of me that I don't know how to repair. I've been keeping this pain inside, hoping that it would just go away, that one day it would heal itself. But it hasn't. It's only grown heavier, and I'm afraid that it's starting to affect us. I'm afraid that the love I so desperately want to give you is being clouded by my own brokenness. I know you've sensed that something's not right. You've felt it in the way I've withdrawn, in the moments when I couldn't give you all of me. I've been hiding behind a smile, behind excuses, behind the belief that I could keep going even when I knew I wasn't okay. But the truth is, I've been falling apart and I can't hide it anymore. This is not easy for me to say. It takes everything in me to admit that I'm struggling, that I'm lost, that I don't have all the answers. But I need you to understand that I'm not okay. I've been carrying this pain for far too long, And I need you to know that I can't keep pretending. I can't keep pretending that I'm fine when I'm not. My love, I'm reaching out to you now. Not because I expect you to fix me, not because I want you to have all the answers, but because I need you to understand. I need you to understand what I'm going through, and I need you to understand that I can't walk this path alone any longer. I need you. And more importantly, I need God's grace to help me heal. I don't have all the answers. I don't know what the future holds. But I know that with your love, with God's love, we can get through this. Together, we can find the strength to rebuild what has been broken. Together, we can heal. I just ask for your patience, your understanding, and your faith in us. This is not the end. This is just the beginning of a new chapter. One where we face our fears and our pain and allow God's love to shine through it all. The angel says, "My dearest listeners, this is a moment of grace. A moment where divine intervention is calling both of you to step into a deeper place of vulnerability and trust. The love you share is not just about the good times, the easy moments. It's about walking together through the valleys, through the struggles, and allowing God to work in your hearts. Remember, God is always with you. He never leaves you. Even in your darkest hour, He knows your pain. He sees your brokenness. And He is calling you both to trust in His healing power, to believe that no matter how shattered your heart may feel, His love can restore it piece by piece. You may be feeling overwhelmed right now, but take a moment to reflect on this. What does it truly mean to love someone unconditionally? What does it mean to show up even when things are hard? Love is not just about perfection. It's about showing up for each other, especially when the road gets tough. It's about being open, honest, and willing to walk through the trials together, knowing that with God's guidance you can face anything. If your heart is heavy with pain, if you feel like you've been hiding pieces of yourself away, know that you don't have to carry it alone. You have each other. You have God. And together, you will find peace, healing, and restoration. Take this message as a sign from God. He is calling you both to step forward, to face the truth, and to trust in His plan for your lives. No matter how broken you may feel, He is the healer. He is the one who can bring beauty from the ashes. He is the one who can make all things new. Watch that video. Listen to the words with an open heart. And as you do, remember that God's love is greater than any pain you're facing. He will lead you to a place of wholeness, a place where healing is not only possible but promised. You were not brought together by accident. Your connection was written by divine hands. And now, God is calling both of you into the next chapter. A chapter that begins with truth, with courage, with surrender. Your person has laid bare their soul. They have spoken words that cost them their pride. They are trusting that you will not run from their brokenness, but instead run toward it with love. They aren't asking you to save them. They are asking you to see them, to hold space for the pain they've tried to hide, to sit with them in the silence they've carried for far too long. They are asking you to believe that love doesn't end when the struggle begins, but that love begins where the masks fall off. This isn't about fixing anyone. It's about being present. It's about walking hand in hand toward healing. It's about choosing to love each other not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. You may be wondering why God allowed this pain. Why now? Why this moment? And the answer, my dear one, is simple. Because now you are ready. Ready to see what you once couldn't. Ready to carry what once would have crushed you. Ready to love in the way God has always loved you completely, without condition. You are standing at the edge of a sacred decision. Will you walk away from this truth? Or will you step into it with open arms? Because I promise you, on the other side of this pain is a healing that will shake the heavens. a love that will make angels weep. But you must be willing to trust again, even when everything inside you wants to guard your heart, even when fear tells you to run. Run to God. Run to grace. Run to each other. There is a light waiting for you, but it will not be found on the surface. You must go deeper, into the hidden places, into the unspoken wounds, and there you will find God, right in the center of your shared brokenness. And in that brokenness, He will begin His work, the great restoration, the rebuilding of a foundation too holy to crumble. But you have to say yes. Yes to listening. Yes to understanding. Yes to forgiveness. Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Your person has already taken the hardest step. They spoke the truth. Now it's your turn. Will you hear them? Will you love them anyway? Will you choose to believe that something beautiful can rise from this? The enemy wants you to believe this is the end. But heaven knows it's the beginning of something far more sacred than happiness. The beginning of healing. True, soul-deep healing. And healing never begins with perfection. It begins with confession. It begins when one heart says, I'm not okay, and another replies, that's all right. I'm here, so be there. Not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally. Be present with your whole heart. Because love like this, the kind that fights through darkness, it changes everything. And maybe that's what God is doing right now. Changing everything. Breaking what was never meant to last. So He can build something eternal. He's not asking for your perfection. He's asking for your willingness. Willingness to believe. To stay. To love even through the tears. Because love that endures pain is the kind of love that mirrors heaven. And heaven is watching. Cheering you on. Covering you in grace. You are not alone. Not in this. Not ever. Let these words echo in your soul. You are loved. You are seen. You are carried. Right now, as you listen, angels are drawing near. They are surrounding you with peace, with hope, with strength for the journey ahead. Breathe that in. You are stronger than you think. Not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. You are a child of God. And no child of God walks through the fire alone. Let that truth steady your heart. You will make it. Together you will make it. Not by your might. Not by your own will. But by His Spirit. By His unshakable love. By the grace that never runs dry. So as this video continues, don't turn away. Don't click away from what your soul needs to hear. You were led here for a reason. Let this be your confirmation. That even in the breaking, there is blessing. Even in the revealing, there is redemption. This is your moment. This is your call. To rise. To believe. To love no matter what. Stay with me, dear one. There is more to come. Let us walk together through every truth, every tear, and every step toward healing. We are just getting started. You're still here, and that means something. It means your heart is listening. It means your soul is ready. Ready for what comes next. Because this is the part where the healing begins, not just for them, but for you too. Yes, you. You who have carried quiet confusion. You who have wondered what's been wrong for so long, but couldn't put it into words. You who have blamed yourself for their distance, for their silence, for the shift in their spirit. Now you know. It wasn't you. It was never about you being not enough. It was about their inner storm raging, loud and hidden. And you, in your grace, stood in the rain with no explanation. You were patient. You stayed. And now your staying has opened a door to truth, a door to sacred love. They finally let you in. And I know it hurts to hear it. The pain, the confession, the cracks in their armor. But my dear one, this is where real love starts. Not with perfection, not with control, but with surrender. They surrendered their mask. Now it's your turn to surrender your fear. You are safe here. You are safe in this moment. And you are being asked to rise not just for them, but for the version of you that's been quietly breaking too. You see, God didn't just orchestrate this revelation for their healing. He did it for yours too. Because healing is never one-sided. It is a circle. What you give returns to you. What you pour out in love comes back as light. And now you are being asked to pour. Not from pressure, but from power. From your divine capacity to love like Christ. To love without keeping score. To forgive with open hands. To stay not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Let these words sink in. You were chosen for this moment. You were chosen to receive this truth. To respond with grace. To witness their brokenness and not run away. Because God knows the strength in you. He knows your spirit. He knows the kind of love you carry. And now, He is using that love to bring someone else back to life. Yes, you are part of a miracle right now. A holy exchange of pain for purpose. A transformation wrapped in tears and truth. So don't shy away. Lean in. Even if it shakes you. Even if it scares you. Because on the other side of this honesty is a love more real than anything you've known. A love that's tested. Refined. Proven. Not through words but through the fire. And I know fire sounds terrifying, but remember what fire does. It burns away the unnecessary. It purifies. It makes way for the gold beneath. That's what's happening now. The gold is rising. In you. In them. In both of you together. So keep listening. Let the words they shared keep speaking. Let the truth settle, not in your fears but in your faith. You are not here by accident. You were called. You were meant to witness this moment. And you are not alone. Even now, heaven is surrounding you. Even now, angels are whispering, keep going. They are guiding this healing. They are holding the pieces of your heart you don't know how to carry. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to fix anything. You just have to be. To be present. To be soft where you want to be guarded. To be listening when your mind wants to run. To be gentle especially with yourself. Because it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to not know what to say. This isn't about having perfect answers. This is about having a willing heart. And you have that. I see it. God sees it. So let yourself breathe. Let yourself cry if you need to. Let yourself feel every emotion moving through you right now. It means you're alive. It means your heart is open. And an open heart is a doorway for miracles. Right now, you're walking through that door. Hand in hand with truth. Hand in hand with God. Because where truth is, God is. And where God is, healing flows. So here's what I want you to remember. You are not weak for feeling this deeply. You are not foolish for loving through the pain. You are not alone, even for a second. This journey, this holy journey of love and healing, it was written for you. And what is written by heaven cannot be undone by pain. So take this next breath and say yes. Yes to love. Yes to truth. Yes to starting again, not from scratch, but from strength. The strength that comes when two people refuse to give up on each other. That is what's possible now. Not a fairy tale. Not a fantasy. But something better. A future that's built on realness. On honesty. On divine healing. So as their confession plays in your heart, Let yours rise too. Speak your truth to God. Tell Him where it hurts. Tell Him what you're afraid of. And then watch how He answers. Not always in thunder. Not always in lightning. Sometimes in the stillness. Sometimes in the warmth. Sometimes in the sound of your person saying, I still love you. That love is real. And if you let it, it will grow into something sacred. So stay with me. Stay in this moment. Because there's more. Much more. And your heart deserves to hear it all. Let your heart remain open now. Don't rush to the end. Stay in this sacred middle. This space between heartbreak and healing. Because right here is where the soul breathes again. You've heard the truth. You've sat with the confession. You've felt the pain. And still you are here. That says everything. It says you are strong. Not the kind of strong that ignores pain, but the kind that looks pain in the face and chooses to love anyway. That's real strength. That's divine strength. And now the next chapter is unfolding. But it won't be written the way the world tells you to write it. This is not about moving on. This is about moving through. Through the fear. Through the silence. Through the doubt. Together. Because this love was always meant to be walked, not just in light but in shadow. And your willingness to keep walking. It matters more than you know. So if you're asking what comes next, let me tell you. Next comes grace. More grace than you've ever known. Grace that covers your past. Grace that whispers, you can begin again. Grace that says, I know you're scared, but I'm with you. God is speaking that over your heart right now. Can you feel it? It's in the quiet pull to stay. It's in the warmth in your chest. It's in the tears that rise not from sadness, but from recognition. Because you know. Deep down, you know this moment is holy. You may not have asked for it, but it was divinely designed. Because what you and your person have is rare. Not perfect. Not without scars. But rare. Sacred. And what is sacred must be protected. Nurtured. Watered with truth and light and love that comes from the deepest part of your soul. That's what you're being invited into now. Not just a relationship, but a rebirth, a restoration, a return to love that's real. You see, God doesn't expose truth to destroy. He reveals to heal. Always. He reveals the wound so He can bind it. He allows the cracking so His light can shine through. And His light is shining now through every raw word spoken, through every silence filled with prayer, through every heart still choosing to stay. So take the next step, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's a prayer whispered through trembling lips. Maybe it's holding their hand again after so long. Maybe it's just breathing deeply and saying, okay, I'm still here. Whatever it is, know this. You're not walking alone. Angels are surrounding you. God is guiding you. Love is leading you. And every step you take in truth and grace brings you closer to what's real, closer to healing, closer to wholeness. And yes, it will take time. Healing always does. It's not a straight line. It's not always pretty, but it's holy. Because every time you choose love over fear, you mirror heaven. Every time you extend grace, you partner with God's heart, and He smiles over that. He blesses that. So don't let doubt steal this moment. Don't let fear write your story. Let faith do that. Let love be louder. Let the voice inside that says, this is worth it, rise above everything else. Because it is worth it. They're worth it. You're worth it. The love God placed between you. It's worth it. So be gentle. With them. With yourself. Speak softly. Love slowly. And hold onto hope like a flame that will never go out. Because hope is what brought you here. Hope is what's holding you now. And hope is what will carry you forward. Step by step. Day by day. Together. With God in the middle. And if all you can do right now is breathe, then breathe. That breath is a prayer. That breath is a sign of life. And where there is life, there is always possibility. Possibility for newness. Possibility for peace. Possibility for a love deeper than you've ever known. So say yes. Yes to the unknown. Yes to the healing. Yes to the love that is rising again between the cracks. Say yes even if your voice shakes. Because that yes could change everything. It already is. You're not the same person who began listening to this message. Something has shifted. Something divine has awakened. Let it grow. Let it guide you. You are walking in the light now. And nothing, not fear, not pain, not the past can separate you from the love that is holding you. The love of God. The love in your connection. The love that never stopped beating for each other, even when everything else fell silent. Stay with me. There's more to come. And your heart needs to hear it all. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your heartbeat. That rhythm. It's not just biology. It's divine design. Every beat says, I am still here. Every beat is a drum roll to the next part of your story. And God, He's the author. But He writes with you. He doesn't force the pen. He invites your hand to join His. And now He's whispering, let's keep writing. You've turned a sacred page. You've seen what lies beneath the surface. You've heard the truth, the kind that breaks and builds in the same breath. Now it's time to respond. But not with perfection. With presence. Just be present. You don't need to know all the steps. You just need to take the next one. And the next one is listening to what God is saying now. He's saying this. I never left you. I never gave up on you. I've been waiting for this moment. The moment when you stop trying to carry it all. The moment you say, God, I can't do this alone. And He says, good. Because you never had to. Let Him in. Let Him into the raw places. The tired places. The places you hide from even yourself. Because He already knows. And He loves you still. Loves you more. Loves you endlessly. This love, it isn't based on how well you perform. It isn't based on how strong you appear. It's based on who He is. And who He is love. He is not afraid of your pain. He's not disappointed in your struggle. He sees it. He honors it. And He's already working through it. Even now. Especially now. So lift your head, beloved. You are not defeated. You are being renewed. This moment isn't the end of something. It's the beginning. The sacred beginning of restoration. And I want you to hear this part clearly. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to need time. God isn't rushing you. Love doesn't rush healing. Healing is patient. Healing is kind. Healing knows that some wounds go deep. But it also knows no wound is deeper than God's reach. He is reaching now. Through this message. Through your heartbeat. Through your tears. He is saying, let me hold what you can't. And your answer. It doesn't have to be loud. It can be a whisper. A whisper that says, okay, God, I trust you. That's all it takes. One whisper of surrender. And heaven moves. Mountains shift. Chains fall. And healing flows. That's how powerful your surrender is. You don't have to shout. You just have to let go. Let go of needing to control. Let go of needing to have it all figured out. Let go of the fear that says, what if this doesn't work? And replace it with faith that says, what if this is the miracle I've been praying for? Because it might be. No, it is. You asked for a sign. This is it. You asked for confirmation. This is it. You asked God, are you with me? And his answer is echoing now. Yes, child. Always. Always in the silence. Always in the storm. Always in the confessions that shake the ground. Always. He is with you. And because he is with you, you can face anything. Even this. Even the brokenness. Even the healing journey. And especially the love that still burns inside your heart. Let it burn. Let it guide you. That love is real. It's holy. It's the very evidence that something divine still lives in both of you. It's not dead. It's not over. It's just now getting honest. And honest love. That's the kind that lasts. That's the kind that changes everything. So stay. Stay with the truth. Stay with your heart. Stay with each other. The easy road isn't where miracles happen. But this road, the road of vulnerability, grace, and courage, this is where heaven meets earth. This is where your relationship becomes a testimony. Not of perfection, but of redemption. Not of flawless love, but of faithful love. Faithful through the breaking. Faithful through the rebuilding. Faithful through every step that says, we are still here. And I know you may not see the full picture yet. But trust the artist. God sees it. And what he sees, it's beautiful. It's healed. It's whole. And he's leading you there one step, one breath, one prayer at a time. So let your soul rest. Let your heart hope again. And know this. You are already being transformed. Not someday. Now. Keep going, love. The story is just beginning. And it is sacred. Take another deep breath. Not just for calm, but for clearing. For making room. Because something is being made new inside you right now. New clarity. New strength. New space for love to live again. You are shedding something heavy. A belief, maybe. A memory. A fear that's lived too long in your chest. Whatever it is, it's leaving now. And what's rising in its place? Peace. Not the kind of peace the world gives, but the kind of peace that passes all understanding. The kind that can only come from God. The kind that whispers to your soul, you're safe now. You don't have to carry this alone. And you don't. That's the truth. You were never meant to bear it all on your own. Love was meant to be shared. Burdens too. That's why God gave us each other. To hold. To help. To heal together. And I know. You've tried to be the strong one. You've tried to be the anchor. But even anchors need grounding. Even you need a place to fall apart and be held. So let this message be that place. Let it hold you. Let it carry the weight for a moment. You don't have to be okay right now. You just have to be honest. Because God can only heal what we stop hiding. So speak it. If not out loud, then in your heart. Say, God, this hurts. Say, I'm scared. Say, I don't know what to do. And then wait. Listen. He's already answering. Not always in thunder. Sometimes in stillness. In breath. In warmth. In peace that settles over your heart like soft rain. That's God. That's love. And love, it's not always loud. It's not always lightning. Sometimes it's just being there, like your person is trying to be now, showing up in their brokenness, telling you the truth, even though it scared them, That's love too. Imperfect, yes, but real. And real love is rare. Don't let pain make you forget that. Don't let pride shut the door to what God is trying to heal. He brought this moment to you for a reason. Not to punish you, not to overwhelm you, but to invite you into deeper trust, deeper faith, deeper connection. This is holy ground, beloved. Sacred space, where tears become prayers, where pain becomes purpose, where two souls say, let's not give up. And I know that's not always easy. But easy was never the promise. God didn't promise easy. He promised presence. He promised, I will never leave you. He promised, my grace is enough. He promised, I will make all things new. That includes your heart. That includes your relationship. That includes this very moment raw, uncertain, real. This is the soil of miracles. Right here. Right now. So what do? You trust. You show up. You stay soft. Not because you feel strong, but because you believe in what's possible through God. That's where strength comes from. Not from pretending, but from trusting. From leaning into the unknown with hands wide open. So open your hands now, in your mind, in your heart. Let go. Let go of control. Let go of how you thought things would go. Let go of the idea that love means no pain. Because sometimes love includes pain, but it always leads to healing if you let it. And you're letting it. Just by listening. Just by staying here. That says more than you know. It says your heart is ready. It says your spirit is strong. It says God is not finished. Not with you. Not with them. Not with the story He's writing between you. And what a story it is. A story of love rising from ashes. A story of truth breaking chains. A story of faith that says, even here, we still believe. So hold on. Hold on to grace. Hold on to hope. Hold on to each other. Because God is in this. He's not done. He's just beginning. And the next part, it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful not because it's perfect, but because it's real. Because it's rising from truth, from ashes, from broken hearts willing to love anyway. That's the beauty heaven sees. That's the beauty God blesses. And you, dear one, you're part of it now. You are in the middle of something holy, a sacred unraveling, a divine rebuilding. Piece by piece, the old is falling away. And in its place, something eternal, something unshakable, something called grace. Grace that doesn't require you to understand it all. Grace that meets you in the middle of the mess and whispers, even now, I'm with you. Can you feel that? The stillness. That's peace. A peace that doesn't make sense, but is exactly what you need. And it's here because God is here, right now in this moment. He's not far away. He's close. He's always been close. And He's closer still when hearts break open. That's what this is. A breaking open. Of walls. Of fears. Of masks that kept you apart. Now you see each other clearly. Not just the good. Not just the polished. But the real. And that's what changes everything. That's what builds forever. Because forever doesn't begin with perfection. Forever begins with honesty. And now, you have honesty. You have tears. You have truth. And you have love. It may not look like the movies, but it looks like something God can bless. Because it's real. And He loves what's real. So breathe again. Feel that. It's the beginning of freedom. Freedom from pretending. freedom from pressure, freedom from silence. Because now the truth is out, and where truth lives, love can grow. Unstoppable, unbreakable, unforgettable. That's what's possible now. But you have to say yes. Yes to showing up again. Yes to listening even when it's hard. Yes to forgiving again and again and again. Not because they're perfect. Not because you have all the answers. But because love chooses. Love commits. Love surrenders. And that surrender, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you holy. It makes you like Jesus, who stayed, who forgave, who loved anyway. That's the invitation now. To love anyway. To believe anyway. To keep walking together. Because together is the point. Together is the prayer. Together is the miracle. Even if it's messy. Even if it's slow. Even if healing takes time. It will. Because God is in it. And God is not done. So let your heart settle into that truth. Let it quiet your fears. Let it anchor your soul. You are not doing this alone. You never were. Heaven is surrounding you. Angels are ministering to your spirit, even now as you listen. Even now as you weep. Even now as you whisper, God, I don't know how. He answers. You don't need to know how. Just trust me. So trust Him. With the pain. With the process. With the possibility of a new beginning. Because the truth. This is a new beginning. It doesn't look like what you expected. But it's holy. It's sacred. And it's yours. You're walking into it now. Step by step. With courage you didn't know you had. With love that's been tested and found true. And with a God who never lets go. He's got you. He's holding you. He's healing you. And nothing can stop what He's doing now. So say it with me. I receive this healing. I welcome this truth. I believe in love again. Say it softly if you need to. Say it through tears. Say it like a prayer. Because it is. And heaven hears it. And heaven answers. This is not the end. This is the sacred beginning. And you are ready. Yes, beloved. You are ready. Not because you feel strong every second, but because you're willing. And willingness is the seed of transformation. It's where heaven plants the miracles. And your heart right now. It's soft soil. So much has been broken open. So much has been laid bare. But now, in the quiet, God is planting something new. You may not see it yet, but it's there. Healing, hope, peace. They're taking root. Because when truth is spoken, and love stays anyway, life begins again. And now you have a choice. A sacred one. Not about fixing. Not about forcing. But about faith. Do you believe that God can heal this? Do you believe that this love, fragile, imperfect, tested, can be made whole? He does. He believes in you. He believes in both of you. And if the God of all creation hasn't given up on this, how can you? So take the hand that's reaching for you. Maybe not in person yet, but in spirit. Through that confession. Through their pain. Through their plea for understanding. They're not just asking for forgiveness. They're asking for a chance. A chance to be seen. A chance to be loved in the middle of their becoming. And isn't that what we all long for? To be loved here. Not once we're healed. Not once we're whole. But right now. In the middle. In the mess. In the mystery of healing. This is your moment to give that kind of love. And yes, it's a risk. But it's also a revelation. Because the kind of love you're being asked to offer, It doesn't come from you alone. It flows from God. It comes from a place deeper than your wounds, stronger than your doubt. It comes from your soul, the part of you that remembers what it's like to hurt and need grace, the part of you that knows healing doesn't happen alone. It happens together, in love, in faith, in partnership with heaven. That's what's unfolding now, a holy partnership, not just between two people but between you and God, because He is in the middle of this. He's holding the thread. He's weaving something eternal, something beautiful, something called restoration. You don't have to rush it. You just have to trust it. Even on the days it hurts. Even when you're tired. Even when you wonder, can we really make it? Yes, beloved. You can. Because the love between you, it's already been tested. It's already been refined. And what remains? It's real. So guard it. Protect it. Water it with words of truth and prayers of hope. This is not a fantasy. It's a sacred reality, one built not on dreams but on decisions. Daily, holy decisions. To stay, to try, to speak, to forgive, to begin again, every day if needed. And when you do, God shows up. Every time. In the smallest moments. In the quiet reconciliations. In the shared glances that say, I still choose you. Because love is not just something you feel. It's something you live. And now, you are living it. Fully, freely, faithfully, and yes, bravely. So brave, beloved. So courageous to still believe, still love, still listen, still hope. Don't downplay that. Celebrate it. You are doing holy work. Work that doesn't always get seen or applauded. But heaven sees it. And heaven is applauding. Right now, angels are rejoicing. Because two hearts are turning back to each other. Back to God. Back to truth. That's revival. That's redemption. That's what happens when we say, I won't give up. I'll keep loving. I'll keep healing. That's what you're doing now. Keep going. You're almost there. And what is there, you might ask? It's not a perfect place. It's not the end of struggle. It's not the disappearance of pain. There is the place where love has roots. Where the storm has passed through and the tree still stands. A little worn. A little changed. But deeply rooted. Deeper than before. Deeper than fear. Deeper than shame. That's where you're headed. That's what this journey is about. Becoming rooted in something real. And when you're rooted, when your love is grounded in grace, nothing can shake it. Not the past. Not mistakes. Not even moments of distance or doubt. Because rooted love. It bends. It sways. But it does not break. And that's the kind of love God is growing in you. The kind that endures. And maybe it didn't start that way. Maybe it began with passion, with excitement, with dreams of perfection. But now it's growing into something far greater, something eternal. Because anything rooted in truth becomes unshakable. And this truth, that your person is hurting, that they've finally let you in, that they're asking for healing, it's not just their truth. It's yours too. Because now you get to decide, will you meet them in this place? Not to fix them, not to carry them, but to walk with them. To say, you don't have to do this alone. And if your answer is yes, if your soul is whispering yes, even through trembling, then trust that whisper. It's holy. It's your spirit recognizing something sacred. This isn't just about romance. This is about resurrection. resurrecting what was lost, what was buried beneath pain and pride, what was hidden under silence and shame. Now it's in the light. And what lives in the light heals. It just does. Because light doesn't just reveal. It restores. God's light is pouring over your love now, and healing has already begun. Yes, already. It started the moment truth was spoken. It grew when you stayed. And now it's deepening because your heart is saying, yes, I want to heal, not just for them, but for you. Because you deserve healing too. You've carried questions. You've felt the distance. You've absorbed the silence. But now there's honesty. Now there's clarity. Now there's invitation. They want you with them in this. They trust you with their pain. And that trust, it's sacred. It's not weakness. It's a gift. So hold it gently. Not perfectly. Just gently. With presence. With compassion. With the same grace you've always longed to receive. Because this is your chance to be who love was always meant to be. Not the fixer. Not the savior. But the witness. The one who says, I see you. I still love you. I'm not going anywhere. That my beloved is divine. And in that kind of love, God moves. Mountains shift. Hearts open. Healing flows. And yes, there's still work to do. Conversations to have. Tears to cry. Time to invest. But now you have something unshakable beneath you. You have the truth. And the truth, even when it hurts, sets us free. Free to love deeper. Free to be seen. Free to become whole. So let yourself hope. Let yourself believe again. Let yourself imagine what your love could become on the other side of this. Not the same, but stronger, braver, softer, rooted. And if you've made it this far still listening, still open, still present, then know this. You are a vessel of God's love. You are part of this miracle. You are being used for something eternal. So don't stop now. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep opening your heart. Because grace is still flowing. And the next part, it's even more beautiful.